Got a lot of dinosaurs.
Dude, they're so awesome. The reason I bought it is because it was going to be...
Yeah, it's good to go.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Welcome back to this episode of the Three Left Turns podcast. We're here this week to talk about a lot of stuff. I think we actually are pretty prepared to talk about a lot of different things right now.
I think so. I think so.
You want to start? I think you came in pretty hot with a lot of different things.
Well, we released our first episode.
We did release our first episode.
We released it. We got our first comment. Did you read the first comment?
Nope. I'm not looking at any metrics. I'm too concerned about editing.
But I read the comment to him.
He did read
So
the
he
comment.
knows
to
the
him.
Oh, you
comment.
do know the comment.
He knows
The comment is pretty funny.
That was
Who's it
something
from?
that
Do you know who it's from?
I was
No.
A real anon?
Yeah, that was like
I thought you were gonna say yeah.
No, I didn't know who that was. At least I couldn't recognize the username, so I don't know who that was. That was just a person who watched.
Awesome.
I posted it on my Blue Sky, and then immediately was like, "That's pretty funny considering we talk shit on Blue Sky a lot in that first episode."
It's mostly my fault.
It's the Everything app.
It's something.
It's not the Everything
It's something.
app. That's X.
Did you guys see what I put in Discord?
Hold on. Before, this is actually pretty pertinent to the comment.
Yeah, we did immediately spiral off in a direction.
And I would like
I
to
don't think
say,
he listened to the episode because that's quite literally what we said the name was.
Yeah, that we're going all over the place.
Wait,
Three Left Turns.
That is kind of what we do.
Jumping all over the place.
Well, that wasn't like the theme of the name, though.
Yeah, but it's kind of symbolic, I think.
I guess so. I mean, it's not like we're professionals. We're pretty amateur. It's going to happen.
Are we being white guys on a podcast talking about our own podcast right now?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Pretty cringe.
It's
That's what
awesome.
Gonna be since the beginning.
I'm so
The
excited.
Pod Johns.
I just wanted to talk about the first episode. I watched most of it.
Most of it. And
okay.
By most of it, you mean that
Listening
little
to
sound
myself makes me want to die, but other than that, it's pretty fun.
Anyways, the comment was
Jesus Christ.
about how we don't stay on topic, which is something I own up and I have talked about
Yeah, we're
off
pretty bad
camera, but I'm also a big offender of because sometimes
You don't have to take responsibility. It's definitely Sagan. Sagan is definitely the biggest ADHD member we have.
at that. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I can't
know.
pay attention to shit.
The thing
so-
is, though, is I think the biggest thing with me is we'll be talking about something and I'll be like, I read a tweet about this.
Yeah.
And we'll start talking about that and then we just, go everywhere. So
Yeah.
it's always, anyways, moral of the story, we do get off topic a lot. We are amateurs and I'm chronically
That's awesome.
online.
Yeah, it's
It's going to happen. And
it's pretty rough out here in these streets,
It's true.
being white men
so
complaining on the
hard.
internet.
It's really hard being that.
It is.
So anyway,
We're deporting legal citizens of the United States. Technically not citizens, but basically citizens. So that's pretty cool.
somebody who came here legally and was doing all of the right steps to
All of-
become a legal citizen.
All of it.
Yeah.
And like
With a pregnant partner.
exercising free speech. Doing America, has a kid, nuclear
On the way.
family. Yeah, well, yeah, that's great. Still a kid. So yeah, it's fucked up.
I mean, it just encapsulates the whole free speech for me, but not for the ideology. That kind of does happen on both sides. Yeah, I hate to be a fence-sitting Andy. I hate fence sitters, but it is something that occurs on both sides, and it's a bit annoying. But the thing is, on one side, you have actual hate
They
speech.
arrested this man,
And sent him
and
halfway across the country.
kidnapped him. They kidnapped him. The federal government kidnapped him.
Oh no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that conservatives are going to find no issue with this.
Oh yeah,
And
no,
they're,
it's fucked
that's
up.
why I mean the free speech for me, but not for
Yeah.
thee.
Evil.
Oh, my free speech when I say I think we should, not me personally. Picture me, you're a far right.
Steven is entering
Conservative.
his conservative character.
Yep.
I'm
Here it
entering
is.
my
We need
conservative
to give you a
characters.
hat. We need to give you a hat that you
Yeah,
can put
where's
on.
the
Hold on.
the
I'm
apolitical hat?
entering my conservative character. So when I say I think we should be a white Christian theocracy, that's okay. But if you say free Palestine, you got to get out of
Prison,
my country.
immediately. Jail. Guantanamo Bay.
For sure.
It makes me very angry. Very, very, very angry.
Free speech for me.
It's also, I'm going to get arrested one day. If they go after social media, I am cooked. I'm cooked.
I mean, there's nowhere to deport us to.
I think at that point, I just get killed.
No, they're just gonna.
I think it's called a camp where they'll concentrate a lot of people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, no, maybe that's why they're annexing Greenland. It's not for minerals and like whatever resources Greenland might have. They're just gonna send all the libs and leftists there.
No, Nazi Germany killed all the socialists first.
It's called Minnesota.
But whoa! Wasn't it called? I swear they had socialist in the name.
Oh my god!
The Nazi Party, didn't they?
Okay, I see what he's doing.
The Nazi
he's
Party.
still in character. Gotta beat him under the desk.
This is why we need your hat, because I can't tell.
Oh.
Yeah,
I can't tell
terrifying.
which side you are.
It's because I'm not using the accent. See, that's where the accent comes in handy.
It doesn't help.
You know,
No.
the Nazis actually had the word socialist in the name.
I need to mute his microphone. I just need to switch off of him.
They had the word socialist in the name. You see? They were the National Socialist People's Party, Working Party of Germany, or whatnot.
Or whatnot.
They were all lefted up over there. They were doing communism.
I can feel my organs failing. Like my liver is shutting down the more you go.
But guys, we gotta consider all opinions.
No, and then there's even liberals that are cool with it because they're like ultra Zionist freaks, and they're like, yeah, no, ship them away. Maybe Trump's not so bad. And I'm like, what are you doing, dog? What are you doing? John Fetterman, why?
Oh, dude, I hate when that guy's name is brought up. Like,
that man's an
stop
ogre.
saying his
He's
name.
an ogre.
We really gotta stop saying his name. He's like akin to Voldemort.
Yeah. I can't believe I voted for him. It really makes me mad.
No, it really, it's like kind of like humiliating to me that I was like duped so bad.
Like this is cuckoldry.
Yeah.
This is cuckoldry. I voted for him and he immediately pivoted right wing and decided to be a psychopath.
Wait. I'm gonna make a callback to a previous episode right now.
Oh boy. Go ahead.
So because we voted for John Fetterman, are we responsible?
Yes.
We are. So just as much as like if I paid $100 for Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yes.
Okay. So it's our fault.
Sure.
We did that.
I don't care anymore.
So we now
yes
support.
Yes. Whatever.
Oh,
whatever.
Okay. No,
Whatever.
you can revoke your support, surely, as we've seen.
Yeah,
this is
with
true.
a lot of the people who have been having.
As seen by him
remorse.
himself. You can revoke your support. You know, when he was like, big progressive for the people guy to get elected, and then that
put a
lobby.
fucking suit on, you ogre. Like, I don't care.
If John Fetterman has no haters, I am dead.
Yes. Correct. Correct.
And I will do everything in my power to make sure he does not get reelected.
I'm going to door knock. I hate that motherfucker.
Me and you are going to go together.
Yeah.
We'll cover blocks.
Yeah, we will.
Dude,
please vote against John Fetterman in the primary.
Imagine how elate we're not going to get like chased away by like crazy Republicans.
Yeah, no, they fucking hate that guy.
We're going to be they probably love him now.
Yeah.
He's
one of the good ones.
I saw something that was like it was a callback to the beginning of the episode.
I
saw a tweet that was like
so much. Why are you like this?
It was like Democratic senator expected to flip parties like in the coming weeks or something like that, and everybody was like, it's Fetterman.
It has to be Fetterman. It has to be Fetterman. There's no way it's not Fetterman. Oh God.
I mean, if anybody were to like, he makes the most sense.
He makes my skin crawl.
Like, honestly, and then whenever there's like they're doing like for the
They switched his brain.
yeah, probably.
They switched it. They had to.
We say switch. He had a stroke.
Yeah.
The man had a stroke.
Yeah. And then he went to a hospital in D.C. They can opened him and then swapped him out with like Richard Nixon or something. I don't know what happened.
Like Futurama.
Like Futurama. They had his brain in a jar. They put it in John Fetterman, and now he sucks. I hate that guy. He makes me so sad.
Like I said, I just can't get over the fact that I was duped so hard. I feel like a fool.
Yeah, no, he sucks.
And that genuinely contributes to like I feel like this is a major problem. It contributes to people's distrust in their officials.
Yeah.
Like who can you trust?
No one.
Like we did it the right way. We're like, okay, this candidate aligns with our values. We're very excited about him. We don't want Mehmet Oz. Like this dude is like, it seems to be a progressive candidate. I can get behind this guy. I'm going to vote for him. I'm going to do what I can to get this guy elected. We get him elected and he just complete switch.
That's where the money's at, man. He
Like,
saw that lobby
like,
money and
how
he
do
said,
you-
oh, okay, yeah, cool.
How does that bring you to have any trust?
It doesn't.
And
It's evil. They're all evil, man. Like, that's the problem.
the last thing we need Bernie to do before he is like, retires from politics or whatever, he's gonna rides off into the sunset.
He won't
He'll
retire.
die.
No, he
He'll
needs to.
die
Yeah, he
in
needs to
office.
create another party.
And he's the only one I'm okay with dying in office.
He needs to create a third party.
It's
It'll
hard.
hard.
Have no gas. Like that's the problem.
But,
Like if we can try, it would be
know,
cool.
it's right.
I would vote for it, but like,
dude, but then we become the third party voters that the libs hate so much.
yep.
Oh my God, we're
suck.
gonna be the reason that there's like a Republican president.
Well,
for
yeah,
the
but that's
next
like if we get to
12
vote
years.
again.
You say, okay, no, hold on, time out. You say we're going to be the reason there's been a Republican president.
there's
Like there
gonna
have
be.
not been,
Yeah.
there has not been a Republican president, despite the fact that all three of us have voted for the Democratic nominee.
In a swing
And they've
state.
still lost.
I know,
Yeah,
but that's
it's-
why we're gonna be, because now we're gonna, and yes, I speak for all of us, we are gonna vote for Bernie Sanders' party.
We, the white man.
If this party exists one day.
We can only hope. I mean, surely a Bernie-created party would get far more motion than the Green Party, at least.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Everyone who would normally support the Green Party would probably flip. Except for like crazy ass Jill Steiners. But those are Russian oligarchs. So I don't know. Unless Trump makes the buying citizenship a thing. Like, can you let us sell it? Like, I'll sell mine.
So your citizenship?
Yeah.
How much is that worth to you?
Like
He
5
set,
million.
yeah, he sent the buy.
That's
He
it?
set the buying
Yeah.
price
Or
at
that's-
5 million.
it's that
didn't he?
much?
Yeah, 5 million.
He
That's
set
how
the
much.
buy like the buy-in.
Yeah, I know the gold card. Yeah,
I don't care.
I think
Whatever.
we've talked about it. I feel like
5 million. I move to Canada. He annexes Canada. I sell it again. Move to Greenland.
Infinite money. No,
No, 15 mil, and then I moved like to an island.
I think Greenland's going first.
You think so? Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that would make more sense. I don't think either of them are gonna happen. To be fair, I don't think it's happening. That would be
Moving
crazy.
to the Gulf of America.
but if we're making money moves,
But
you
if
do
we are
sell your
making money moves
citizenship
and I'm allowed to
3
sell my
times.
citizenship, I'm doing it 3 times. That would be incredible.
I think one of the craziest things about the idea of the imaginary idea of annexing other countries that in and of themselves have their own government is the fact that we don't make the actual statehoods of Washington, D.C.,
No,
Puerto Rico.
no,
Not that these places necessarily want to be
No.
states. Some of them do.
no. They're
But-
woke.
I-
Woke DEI states.
But what I don't understand, and this is where, to me, once again, I want to talk about this later if we get to it. But like the conservative dissonance that has to happen for you to be somebody who for years has talked about how Canada is a liberal hellscape.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is, like, what do they plan to gain from this? They're gonna lose, like, elections.
Like surely there's no
they don't
way.
think like that.
Well, maybe. Has Canada ever had redlining and, like, gerrymandering before? They'll find a way.
That's the plan. They're going to insert themselves.
District the fuck out of that.
You can't gerrymander a general election, though.
I mean...
Sure you can.
They literally
unless
do.
they like redraw
It's
state
called
lines.
the Electoral College. What do you mean? Donald Trump did not win the popular vote
POV.
in 2016.
Well, yeah.
POV, this man's learning about the Electoral College.
No, I know, but like...
It's quite literally how you gerrymander a general election. States that then vote and have their own, like, values.
I mean, I guess if the gerrymandering is like the borders of the states themselves.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, yes, that's breaking it up into, like, it's the exact same thing on just a different scale.
I guess.
Yeah.
But that means these states were gerrymandered like back in the 1800s.
No, like, kind of, but
in terms of where Republicans have put a lot of effort into trying to win certain elections, like when you look at California.
Well, yeah, when you look at it like that, yeah.
For the most part, Republicans have not put that much effort into trying to win.
And that's how
California.
battleground states arise. But
for sure,
yeah, I understand that.
But that, I would say, isn't necessarily like a form of redlining and gerrymandering, but it is a form of using the political system that's in place to game the system rather than just running on policies that are popular and winning the vote.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, but I guess they'd have to they'd be like, okay, once we get Canada, okay, we got to draw this up real nice and neat.
Yeah. That's what will happen. What do you mean?
We're going to take the Liberals and push them somewhere else. And then we'll have Canada, one state that's just all that's left is right-leaning people, and they get like 100 electoral college votes.
What if libs just like fled the East Coast and West Coast and just like ate up the middle of the country and switched like all the red in the middle to blue?
For what jobs?
I don't fucking know.
There's a reason no one lives there.
That's true.
No one wants to live there. Have you ever driven through Iowa? I have.
Don't remember.
No one wants to do that. The rolling fields of Midwestern PA, and it's just just highway and farm equipment.
There's some mountains in there.
In
I
Iowa?
like mountains.
You said Midwest PA.
Oh,
driving through West Virginia is always fun. I like West Virginia. It's full of mountains and crazy people. You don't stop in West Virginia.
Sounds like a threat.
It is. From the entire state of West Virginia. That place is scary. You ever seen the movie Deliverance?
Oh no, I've driven through.
Is it Deliverance? I think
West
that's
Virginia.
the movie.
I don't know where that takes place. I'm not sure.
I think it's West Virginia. I don't remember. If that's the crazy fucked up movie from West Virginia, it's that one.
I don't know. You're the movie guy here, man.
Yeah,
Or the
I don't
horror
know.
movie guy.
I don't remember.
It's on you.
I've never actually seen it. I just know it's crazy.
So to go back to the idea of Republican dissonance, I think all three of us have we watched the entirety of the Sam Seder interview?
No.
I
haven't watched any of it.
You haven't watched any of it.
I didn't watch the
any of it.
very last topic because it was like I will now pick us like the one where he's like I'll pick us like one of the conservatives to debate on a topic of their choice, and of course he's like, I think abortion is immoral and illegal.
Yep.
Shocker.
Crazy.
So I was like, yeah, I don't care, and I turned it off. But I watched everything before that.
See, okay, I'm not gonna. It's not like I'm spoiling anything. I think you would get just as much enjoyment. Although, for what it's worth, while I think it is a very entertaining watch,
it's going to infuriate me, and it's why I haven't watched it, because I'm just gonna be mad at how stupid everyone
my
is.
takeaway was, and Sam Seder even came out afterwards and like talked about there's such a gap. And he even says at the end of the video, you should have watched the whole way through, because at the end they give their own, like, it's like a little talk back where they like give their own review of the debates that just happened. It's kind of weird, but he even says where he's like, I came into this process assuming that there was going to be a lot more conversation about policy, and so they talk about, like, the one clip that went super viral was about DEI in government, right? And how
there's two clips that went really viral,
right? And the conversation that they were having was, it stemmed from the DEI part, and it talked about how the conservative person made the claim that because of DEI, the government agencies get tax breaks.
Yeah, they get they're like, he basically said, like, you hire a person of color, you get a tax credit for government agencies.
That was his claim. And Sam, go ahead.
Government agencies are paid for by taxes.
Okay.
Are you saying that government agencies don't pay taxes?
Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Is that what you're trying to tell us right now?
Why don't you go tell a conservative that?
Yeah,
buddy,
and see what they're going to
get educated real quick.
Hold on.
No, because this was the conversation where, so Sam is like, government agencies don't pay taxes, and he's like, oh really, they don't? And it's like, it's ridiculous.
He's like, genuinely,
he believes
he thinks he's owning him.
Yeah,
I love that.
I'm gonna do it again. I saw a tweet that said that guy in particular is like part of the casting team for
crazy.
Jubilee. Don't know if this is true, obviously.
Maybe.
But I saw a tweet that he's part of the casting team for Jubilee, and he's like a failed actor or something. And
they all are.
Yeah, this is my overarching take, that I feel like a lot of the people, I feel like most of the people there aren't like, don't even actually hold the beliefs that strongly. I think they're just on Jubilee, and because
do you think they're acting?
Like, I feel like most of these people, like, surely most of these people know going in that they are not going to be able to like hold up in a debate versus Sam Seder. I'm not even trying to glaze Sam Seder.
I can counter it 100%. The one guy, the Christian nationalist people who come in super hard.
Oh yeah,
they show, like, the one guy, he has like a tan jacket on, if you've seen the other like clips from it, but he comes in like he has his own like YouTube channel, and he's talked in the past his like genuine beliefs, and people have like pulled up pictures and videos of him at like protests that he's been at and stuff, and he's like a genuine Christian nationalist guy.
Well, so is that girl.
So is the girl.
The blonde lady?
But, yeah.
That's the only clip I've seen, is her being like, I think Christian nationalism is cool.
Donald Trump's not conservative enough for me.
And the dude,
that's what she said.
And the dude has like been photographed with, and I mean, he would proudly say it to anybody's face, but he like is a genuine believer that like women should not vote.
Not where was he at on January 6th?
That's crazy.
Who knows?
Where was he at?
But
somebody find out. Can someone find that?
No woman should suffer ever again.
And that, I mean, that's just, again, like, that's what the debate at the end of it, they're talking about it. And he's like, I came in ready to have conversations about policy and like the idea behind what Trump wants to do and like the way that he's going to implement it.
And they just don't care.
And these people think that government agencies pay taxes.
That's
like, there's such a gap.
That's insane.
In
just like the general knowledge.
Well, I mean, it is Sam Seder. That's like his job. But no, I get the point though. Like, there's gonna be a gap. Like, even if like us three debated Sam Seder, there's still probably gonna be a gap.
No, for sure. But if you're somebody who's gonna walk in and claim to be a conservative person who believes in conservative values, and your conservative values are based in myth.
Yeah, like actual factual, just like garbage. Like garbage knowledge that isn't real.
Like, I think that's something that makes it...
It's insane.
It's why it's so much harder and disheartening to see the Democrats who are in Congress right now that are doing nothing.
Literally nothing.
Because
Little
Republicans can
fucking
just get up on
ping pong
stage,
paddles.
lie about whatever they want, and Democrats
There's
go
zero pushback.
And Democrats are like, we're going to protest through silence.
Yeah, it's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
We're gonna hold up
infuriating.
liar signs.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
It's infuriating.
Oh my god, dude.
And
It makes me so fucking angry.
well, and then so
All right, so you think these people just are like so like I'm gonna say like dumbly confident in their beliefs that because to me some of these people it genuinely seems like they're just going up and just like saying whatever because they're on Jubilee, they're just happy to be there and they just want to
I
they want to
think it's
have their
real.
moment.
I believe it's real. Because
Like it's because some of it just sounds so ridiculous.
have you not met those people? I mean, like those people exist in real life. You see
I haven't
them,
talked to them like face to face, thank goodness.
I
But
guess.
I mean, I've seen plenty of it online, obviously.
I mean, that's what I like. I think it's all real.
We don't interact with strangers very much.
But I'm saying
No, yeah,
I don't know
I've
much
been,
about
like,
your extended families, but you don't get into conversations with the crazy uncle or whatever. You know, the stereotypical. You don't have anybody.
Okay,
That's insane.
I
don't
like
really interact
the
with
extent
my
of my I was gonna say we don't have the sort of families that get
guess.
into that sort of thing. Like I haven't spoken to any of my aunts or uncles in like 15 years.
Yeah,
See,
me too.
I exclusively most of my conversation with my one grandmother is about how solar panels are. She's an anti-solar energy,
That's
anti-solar panel person because
That's so weird.
I need Steven's hat for a second because solar panels are made by Chinese companies, so they're cheap, and so it's destroying the mining. It's actually doing more harm to the environment because the Chinese solar panels are only going to last like 5 years, and then we throw them away, which is worse for the environment. And you're not actually getting that much energy anyway, so we should all just burn coal.
Girl, what?
And that's what like. I don't. That's why, to me, watching like the Jubilee videos.
Don't watch this episode, Grandma.
It's all right. She knows. We talk about it all the time. She's great. But that's where like the dissonance, the gap, and that's why like to go back to the voters' remorse. Like we feel it for John Fetterman, but like there's been so many Republicans who have come out post the election who have talked about like I didn't realize that he was going to do this, despite the fact that he said it openly on stage.
Where were they during the first term?
It's because
No, Americans have such short-term memories. It's not even funny. We are so cooked in the brain. We can't retain anything.
It is true. I mean,
Republicans
than, like,
were right.
2
We should
years.
ban TikTok.
Trump
No,
for so
literally,
long.
It'll extend
I'm kind of
people's-
for it because it would help people recover their like attention spans. Maybe it would just get replaced with something.
It might have been COVID
by
too.
like Zuck.
It was
And
probably it was
COVID
the
is
it was
another
the
big
storm
thing.
like COVID and then like TikTok emerging and like exploding in popularity due to that
destroying
combined.
people's brains. It's crazy.
Yeah, brain broke like the entire country, myself included, a little bit. Mostly just in terms of the fact like that I'm just like
Nah, and
cooked.
I love a good TikTok every now and again, here and there, but like, and I'll walk around and I'll quote the little sounds and I'll do the little things and follow the little trends and do all of that, and it's fun and I get it, but it's fucking crazy the way that it has just eroded people's brains. I can't do it. It's crazy. It makes me upset for like humanity as a whole. And I don't think TikTok's entirely to blame for it. It's just kind of like
people
the
don't know how
internet
to use
and
in
American
moderation
culture
as well.
and, yeah, it's crazy.
Like an average person, like if you use TikTok in moderation and we're like, stayed.
If people just set timers on their phones,
Or just cold turkey.
or just cold turkey.
Just delete them all.
Some people can do that. I can do that too.
Yeah,
I choose to believe that social media has a role
yeah,
in
absolutely.
society
I think it has a purpose.
that I need to participate in for some reason, that I need to have the Facebook account, despite the fact that I never post to anything, barely interact with anything.
Yeah, and
It's there purely to occasionally see updates from friends and family.
exactly. My account is still active. It's so that my grandma knows I'm alive. Like that's it.
100%.
That's it.
Call your grandma, man.
She sends me Dimash videos. She's the only extended family outside of parents and siblings that I genuinely interact with. She sends me Dimash videos. I don't know if you know who Dimash is.
No.
He's a Kazakhstani singer.
Oh.
She is obsessed with him. She has bumper stickers that's Dimash fan, super club, all sorts of stuff.
That's
she
awesome.
tracks him and all of his shows
She a
and
stalker?
goes to them whenever she can.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, whenever he comes to the U.S. Oh yes,
This is
she
some
sends me
crazy
videos.
lore.
That's
I watch
awesome.
them all the time.
This is some crazy.
That's
lore.
awesome.
I
I did
have
not
to
know
watch
that.
Grammy's Dimash video.
Dimash.
Yeah,
Just like
Dimash, Dimash, I believe.
I'll look it up.
He
I'll
was
put it
on
in
The
links.
Masked Singer at one point. He did some other stuff.
Is he like a pop singer?
No,
Do I not know this person? Is he like a
no.
classical singer?
Yes, I think so. He sings.
Opera
Yeah,
style.
yeah.
Stylistic.
Big
Yeah.
numbers. All in a foreign language that I can't understand.
Great.
But Grandma loves him, so I love him. Thanks, Dimash. You keep Grandma company. I'm good with that.
I think that's awesome.
But yeah.
That's
Never heard
pretty
of it.
cool. That's like a good use of Facebook, I think.
Yeah.
Keeping
Yeah,
track of Dimash.
She sends me stuff.
Stalking
and
Dimash.
She sends me little e-cards on
Holidays.
holidays, and I sit and I watch them. You gotta love your grandma, man.
Gotta.
You gotta. Except my other grandma, she's a Nazi, but that's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I know I have extended family members that are not even far right, just conservative Republicans, but I don't talk to them. I don't see them. They live in different states, stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah. We burnt all the bridges in 2016.
yeah, I mean, I talk to my mom, I talk to my dad, and I hear from my grandma on holidays and my birthday and her birthday.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's what. So
We don't get crawfish boils.
I guess. I guess that's the difference. I don't know. One of the last things we've passed the half hour mark, so we can start talking about our nerd shit if we want to talk about it.
Sure.
But one of the last things I wanted to talk about specifically was I asked you guys to look up some of the stuff about the Department of Education and the defunding that is going on there as part of the mass layoffs throughout the entire
1,300
government.
layoffs.
I read that there was also 600 in resignations and forced retirement, so it's actually
Yeah.
a 1,900 figure.
Yeah, it's pretty atrocious and devastating to who knows what will necessarily come of it. But the reason that I even wanted to talk about it in the first place is because I got so fired up this week because I don't know if you guys listened to The Daily, the New York Times podcast, but they did an episode about, this was before anything official had actually happened too, which is very foreshadowing of what ended up happening. But they were talking about the Department of Education, and the host opens it up by going, and I hate to even say this, but what does the Department of Education even do? And I was just like, how are we allowed to exist in a world in which we can just have government agencies that people don't know what they do? Which, I can understand it if you're a regular guy and you're not somebody who necessarily
Where is your journalistic integrity?
knows about, the consumer financial, any of those, the more niche, ones that people don't know about, but like the Department of Education.
You freaks! Like
How is this something that we don't know about? And I got so mad. Literally,
there are probably some people like out there that go through like FAFSA and all that stuff and don't know that's like it's through the Department of Education.
And that's literally what
literally.
they talk about.
Literally.
Was that, and one of the reasons, like I believe the episode came out on Monday or Sunday, and then like everything, all these layoffs started happening Tuesday, Wednesday, and throughout this week, and they were talking about how one of the things that Trump wants to do, and they're working on, is developing an AI.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
To handle those FAFSA calls.
Oh, no.
So instead of having, like, parents go through the programs and, like, talk to real people who can help them through the FAFSA program, they apparently are trying to develop an AI in-house.
I hate AI, bro. It's horrible.
It's terrible. But to handle stuff like the FAFSA. And I just don't...
Oh, it's going to be like one of those racist Twitter speech bots, you know what I mean? When they would like release an AI onto Twitter and within 24 hours it was the most racist Nazi in the world.
Well, and
that's going to be running FAFSA.
What was so...
FAFSA.
FAFSA.
Yeah.
Which everybody calls it FAFSA.
Yeah, that drives Rebecca insane.
I love Tesla.
Dude, that is so funny. All right, we're gonna get back on topic for a second, just 1 second. But I just love Trump running defense so hard for his oligarch benefactor is so funny. I love Tesla.
Bro is a literal car salesman. He is a car salesman and the president of the United States. I can't handle it.
He's running defense for Elon Musk. It's so...
I am Tesla.
I love Tesla. Okay, hold on. We gotta go back.
To go back to it, what made me to add on to everyone should go back and listen to it, or don't. I don't really care that much. But that episode of The Daily, they talk about the history of the Department of Education, who founded it, how mostly like George Bush and George W. Bush and Obama like used the Department of Education to really bring in like standardized testing and stuff like that. And I think it's so funny that they were having this whole conversation.
That shit sucked.
Well, and this is where like I get it, right? As somebody who did the way that schools are set up quite well in school, and did well in standardized testing, and did well on things like the SAT and all that. Like, I was fine, you know? You may not have been.
I did fine on standardized tests. I hated them because they made me anxious, but other than that, school was not a good time for me.
Well,
the thing is, you were smart, you just didn't want to do homework.
Yeah.
That's
why I have a job
now. Such is a
tale
that is the case for a lot of people,
especially with ADHD and
I was gonna say
undiagnosed problems
ADHD,
with children, and whatever, it's fine.
But to me,
I pay my bills.
One of the funniest things that they just didn't bring up, which I feel like was potentially a crux of the entire conversation, is they talk about the standardized testing, but the standardized testing is for things primarily in STEM, right? Mostly math, a little bit of science, and then...
Little bit of science.
Not that much. Like, in terms of, like, biology.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, yeah, so it was pretty much math, reading comprehension, which has tanked.
That's, like, all it was. At Iroquois, there was, like, a little tiny math section or science section that, like, I think disappeared. Like, I don't remember doing a science section standardized test like towards the end of high school. It was mainly just reading and math. Like, that was it.
Yeah, you would do like a science module or something at the end of the math one.
Like ridiculously tiny.
Yeah, it was like 4 questions.
Inconsequential.
Yeah,
like it was really
4
just
open-ended questions,
reading and math,
and it was like more logic problems than anything else.
Well, in Pennsylvania we have a thing called the Keystones. Did you guys take those?
Yeah, that's what they were.
Well,
Was there a science
There
one?
was a science keystone.
Oh Jesus, I don't remember that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I know that they were also.
I always got proficient or advanced.
You know, I remember.
you.
No, when they were PSSAs, I remember doing a science one.
Yeah,
I do not
which
remember
was the
ever doing
pre-keystone.
a science.
I don't even know what
keystone.
that current.
Do you remember
standardized
all of
tests
the
are.
ratings?
I think they still do PSSAs for like elementary school.
For the standardized testing, do you remember all of the like grades you could get on them and what they were called? Because it was proficient,
with proficient and advanced.
And then there was but the names for them are hilarious because it's basic and then below basic.
Well,
And it's like these kids are stupid.
but it's the whole idea behind standardized testing wasn't necessarily to. It wasn't necessarily. I mean, it's. I guess it's like a hand-in-hand situation where like the idea behind standardized testing wasn't to test kids.
It's for like allocating funding.
It was to determine the quality of the education from the schools,
Which in turn determined funding.
which in turn, yeah, right. But like the funding was based off of how well the kids did,
So wait,
which was a
hold on.
direct result, according to the way that the Department of Ed was set up and how they started doing standardized testing. It was the idea that the scores, the test scores, were based on the quality of the school. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It was like
Better
the
school, better
higher-
scores, more funding.
Right. And
Because you guys are doing good.
right.
But
And so
that makes
Yeah, it's the
no
opposite of
fucking
how
sense.
should
It
be,
makes
but-
no fucking sense. Give the money to the schools that don't have the good scores because they need the fucking money, you absolute buffoons.
Guess how
and
much money they're
I
about
have
to
an
get.
associate's degree. I'm not that smart. It's not that hard.
I don't know. What got me again back to the original part of they were talking about how again this woman starts the conversation with, I don't even know what the Department of Education does.
Like, even if you're feigning ignorance to start the conversation,
Sure.
you're doing it in an irresponsible way, you freak.
But and with that, I think that shows that the knowledge around what the government does, to go back to the Jubilee
Mm-hmm.
situation, the knowledge around what the government does is so chalked that nobody knows. Like, this is why people believe that government agencies pay taxes,
Yeah.
because we don't teach
They
it.
think they're too busy transing fucking prisoners and shit.
Well, even in like gov, like there was one gov class that we took, all of high school, and we had a good teacher. Like Miss
I
Cam was a
love
great
her.
teacher,
I
but even
love
like,
her.
but like the curriculum, you don't even like go that deep
Yeah, no.
into
No, you don't.
like the inner workings of the government. We're like
I did really
high
well in
school
government.
educate, or at least Iroquois high school educated. That's
Damn,
my
just
alma mater, by the
doxing
way.
our...
He
dox-
said it
already
earlier,
know
too.
we
He
live
said
in-
it
Class of
earlier, too.
2018,
we live
baby.
in Erie. Like, it doesn't matter at this point, right?
Please don't look at my haircut in my senior photo. It is not good.
Anyways, Iroquois. All right, fine. Well, it doesn't matter anymore. Iroquois High School government.
I'm just gonna put a bleep every single time.
government curriculum was like, these are the 3 branches of government,
Yep.
and this is what they do, and checks and balances,
Well-
and important dates.
Hold
and
on,
stuff
because
like that.
we learned about some...
We
Like,
learned about some departments.
well,
but
no, we learned
didn't-
about, like...
We had to like cosplay as them, but we didn't really go. Like that was
We didn't
like
go
a
very
little
deep into
blip
all
in
that.
Time out. You had to cosplay.
Yeah,
Not
we had to, like-
departments of
but like,
government.
like
did, like,
there
a
was like a
thing-
round table thing.
Yeah.
Where everybody,
Everyone got a
repre-
department, and we had
and-
to argue for
yeah,
a
for
department
who
to figure out
deserves more
who gets the
funding.
money.
Oh,
you know?
like
I
a
won.
mob.
I won most of the funding for mine.
Of course you did.
I
Steven
think
was
I
the
was
most
the State
popular
Department.
person. Oh, no.
I'm running propaganda.
Captain Imperialism over here. I just remember the only test in that class I got lower than a B on was the campaign funds one because I fell asleep.
But yeah, anyways, the moral of the story is we really didn't go that deep into like like, you look in your textbook and there'll be like 5 bullet points for what each department does, and that's about it.
Yeah, most of what I've learned about government has been post high school.
Yeah, me too.
On my own, just
and that's
being
where
interested in things.
The standardized testing doesn't talk about civics.
No.
That's
crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's where that was the thing that I wanted to like get to. It's just like the reason that American politics is so whack is because people just don't know what politics are. I swear.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, a lot of people don't care to know either.
Yeah.
Like the median voter in America probably does not care to learn.
I don't know, or I want everyone to be a white Christian. Those are like the 2 reasons.
And with that, I feel like everything. I mean, who knows how long it actually goes back. But, like, in my personal experience, I feel like everything's from 2016 for sure, probably 2012. Like, everything is identity politics.
Yes.
Which isn't politics.
No.
It's just team sports at that point. Identity politics is just team sports. And whether you like the red team or the blue team, and who is in the camps of those teams.
And my team is full of cucks. Like, everyone on what is supposed to be my team is a cuck with a little black spatula.
That's why we're introducing a 3rd team.
I wish.
We don't need the teams, though. We just need people to vote for the things that are in the best.
Yes! We need people to understand policy.
Well, I swear, there was like a
and
shift.
want policy instead of
No, I swear
firing
there was a shift.
all the pilots because they're black.
I swear there used to be so people that used to like not like want to be involved in politics didn't want to be involved because they were like, avoidant. They didn't want the conflict that comes with it. They didn't want the disagreements, the arguments, anything like that. It kind of like shifted because I feel like people nowadays kind of more welcome like
I want the conflict.
The conflict and the confrontation. So nowadays the people that don't really like
let me hear
get into
you
politics.
Say, your body, my choice. It is on site. I'll break your mouth.
I think the people that don't want to get into politics nowadays
with my mouth
are like, I feel like they're just either they don't like genuinely don't care to know, or they might be more like embarrassed about like not having that knowledge, and they don't want to. Maybe they feel like they're behind or something because they don't want to go into these conversations and like everybody always wants to gotcha someone else and embarrass them online or something, and people just don't want to take part in that.
You're gonna tell me federal agencies don't pay taxes? That's the thing.
That's the
thing.
Well,
that's somebody that wants to. That's somebody that wants that conflict, though. You're not going on Jubilee to do a 20v1 unless you want the conflict.
That same guy within the DEI conversation, I'm pretty sure, that same guy said the funniest thing because they were explaining DEI, what it is, and how like it's an anti-discrimination policy. DEI is, hey, don't discriminate against this person because they are A, B, X, Y. Like, all these different reasons of, like, whether it be their race, their religion, their creed.
DEI equals die.
And so he's talking about how, like, the government must make an attempt to not discriminate.
Yes.
Like, that's all DEI is they have to make an attempt. And the dude tries to do the gotcha, and he goes, liberals, they love their buzzwords. Must. The government must. And it's like...
Yeah. He
said
must was a buzzword.
The word must, to be clear, is not a liberal buzzword.
Yeah, what is that?
That's all.
Politics is
that's what political discourse is nowadays. It's just like trying to gotcha the other guy and embarrass them and make them look like stupid.
I hate it. It makes me want to die.
Like, so people that don't have that like domain knowledge don't want to like start getting involved in this world where they're just gonna like where they're trying to learn and they're just getting called stupid by other people on the internet all day long. Like normal people have better things to do, first of all, than argue with other people on the internet, I guess.
No, normal people.
But I mean, and that's not an excuse. Like, you should still be informed. Like, you don't have to you don't have to argue with strangers on the internet to be involved in politics. But that just, like, the way social media has framed it and the way people interact with social media, that's what politics seems like. Like, people probably think politics is going online to argue with the other team and try to make them look stupid.
100%. 100%. That's what I mean. I was thinking, I was talking to some people the other day because we were talking about how the idea of like the bystander, right? When you go through the anti-bullying campaigns,
don't be a bystander.
Don't be a bystander, because if you're being a bystander, you're allowing the bullying to happen, right? And somehow we got into the same sort of conversation where we were also talking about how like what's the quote of ignorance is bliss, and how like in the idea of like, oh, I don't know about that, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not watching this cruelty happen. I don't care. So I don't care.
Yeah.
And I'm happier because I'm not watching the cruelty. But those people are being bystanders.
Yes.
To the cruelty.
Yes.
That is happening.
Yes.
And
yes. And that doesn't mean you have to like constantly watch the news. And like, I even sometimes will turn something off if like my soul can't handle it anymore. But like, it's about being informed and knowing that the wrong is happening and understanding why it's wrong and being able to fight against that. But you don't have to drown in it.
I'm going to title this episode, Governments Pay Taxes?
Question mark? I have a friend that still like genuinely doesn't vote because he's like, my vote doesn't matter because I'm just one person.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Those people exist.
There's probably millions of them too.
Yep.
Well, that was something, I don't remember how in depth we got with it last week, but like that was something I talked about last week, where in Pennsylvania, the Democratic Party registration, that's what I'm looking for, has been decreasing, and Republicans have been increasing, but overall the percentages are down in terms of total
voter registration
and participation. And despite the fact that like in 2020 and 2024 we've seen the highest amounts of votes that have ever come in for elections ever, and we're still not even talking about, but we're barely cracking the 50% voter threshold of like everyone who could vote.
But it's a mandate.
Well, and there are the 45 million illegal immigrants that vote too. But like those guys aren't registered. But like,
well, they won't be here next time. So
I guess that's true.
We'll see if the Democrats lose 45 million or if it was all smoke being blown up our asses. I think it might be B.
Dude, we just weren't allowed to. They caught us rigging it this time. That's why we lost. I mean, I did my part. I cast about 20 votes among 5 different polling locations myself.
Yep.
If you didn't do that and you're a Democrat, it's your fault.
Every single one of my Bionicles voted.
I had a few dead pets that voted. I really tried.
We're going to get arrested by the CIA.
It's going to be awesome.
I mean, I had an operation in Georgia with 2 friends in Georgia. They sent out like 100 mail-in votes for for Kamala. So.
Oh, don't cook them too.
I'm
not naming names. You just got them devoted.
I'm not naming names. But I had a whole operation. I did my part.
See, that's why they lit that
they must
the mailbox
They
on
must
fire.
have stopped the
Ryan
steal.
Kemp, find me votes.
Oh my god, it's so cooked, bro.
Anyway, like my favorite part of the Jubilee episode.
Oh yeah, to go back to that.
From that same guy, which honestly it wasn't my favorite. It's not even funny. It really isn't funny. It's actually sad, pretty sad. Do you remember when he was like, he tried to do a gotcha to Sam Seder.
That's all he was doing the whole time.
Yeah, and remember, and he also like tried to not walk into that Sam Seder numbers trial when he was like, how many kids like have gotten like gender affirming care.
Yeah, they were trying to talk
over
about
the past 5 years, and he's like, I don't know the number. I'm not. Why don't you tell me the? Anyways, That's not my part. That's not the part I'm talking about. The part where he's like, he's trying to do a gotcha on Sam Seder, and he's like, everybody in here, raise your hand if you wouldn't mind seeing a gay couple kiss in public. Or, I mean, if you would care about seeing a gay couple kissing in public. And, like, over half of them raise their hand.
And they're like, in public?
In public?
In
And they're
public?
like, they hear that, and like, they start raising their hand. And he's like, you see, well, that's just their opinion. Like,
so funny.
No way,
so
bro.
funny. So
That's
it's sad. I think it's kind of sad.
crazy.
That's what I mean. It's all identity politics.
They
now.
should have given Sam Seder a sword at that moment.
I think Sam Seder's
ridiculous.
Gonna start hacking people down.
Just the threat of it. Like, he doesn't have to use it, but I think they should have, like, staked it in the ground next to him.
They should have done the Jubilee box thing. So like in this one.
Is that a thing? Do they make people fight?
No.
It's
no,
not like
no,
boxing.
not boxing. They do the red box. Everyone's blindfolded. They vote people out.
Six conservatives and one secret Democrat.
Yeah,
and the Democrat's just Sam Seder.
Yeah, well, because that's this has just become the Jubilee React podcast. But
Hassan can do it. Hassan lifted the Jubilee Brigade for this, so we can talk about it.
There's a Jubilee Brigade?
That's what he said. He said he lifted the Jubilee Brigade.
Oh, okay.
But there were people who were coming out with reactions to that were like on Twitter. I saw tweets.
I'm always seeing tweets.
I saw blue skeets about how there were Republicans who thought that Sam Seder was the conservative.
Oh yeah, I saw those. Yeah.
In the debate, because if you pay attention, you can tell that like he was cooking these guys because they obviously don't know anything about policy.
Mm-hmm.
And they come out and they say dumb things like government agencies get taxed and like all the multitude of different things that were happening. And they were just like, ugh, see, this is what we're talking about, dumb liberals. And they're like, who are you talking about? Because clearly we're not talking about the same person here.
No way, bro.
Like that's how much it's just identity
craziest
politics, and who cares about who gets owned more.
That's the craziest horseshoe I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
When you're so conservative, you think all the stupid people are liberals.
And the thing is like even when people get gotcha,
so cool.
like say you're debating a conservative and you hit them with the meanest gotcha, like it's not gonna make them change their mind. They're just gonna be more mad.
They'll just like malfunction for a second and then like add an anger tick and go.
Yeah,
up
they'll add another
every time.
level.
Or if you're Charlie Kirk, your face shrinks a little bit.
Yeah.
Every time he gets owned, it shrinks a little.
Crops it
Yep.
a little bit more. Yeah.
It's grim. The political landscape is pretty grim.
Yeah.
Organized locally.
That was
Yeah.
last week was the black pill episode. We were doom and gloom.
We were
last
pretty
week.
upset, and then we just avoided talking about it.
Yeah, which is fine.
It is.
We had to be
We
normies
talked
for a
about
week.
Magic the Gathering for a minute, and I love that shit. So, Steven played with me this week at the card shop.
What's
Our
my
local
record?
Card shop. He went 3-0 that day, but before that, when he came over to my house and we opened up a box, he went 4-0, including one time where he handed me his deck and then beat me with my own precon. Pretty embarrassing.
I figured he'd want to try the dinosaurs.
The dinosaurs?
I wasn't trying to gotcha Sagan. I just wanted him to.
He
to
did,
play with the
however,
dinosaurs.
get me.
He little broed you pretty
did.
hard.
He did. He handed me an unplugged controller and said, "Here, you're playing," and then played in front of me.
He was like, "Hey, I want to play Smash with you. Let me 5-stock you over and over and over again."
Yes. Yes. It was pretty brutal.
That's fine.
It was pretty brutal. And then he came to the shop, and like one of my coworkers came and played, and
I want to know if did he mention it the next day? He say anything?
He talked about how much he wants
To
a
be
different
Steven.
deck.
Oh.
And how
I just instilled you both with buyer's remorse.
kinda.
And I did technically spend more, so my deck
did.
should be more powerful.
He did, and it is.
Only $20 more for the record. I don't want everybody to think I
spent-
I did
says-
not pay to win them.
He says $20 more.
I
He
spent
spent
more at the card shop.
$1,020, and Sagan spent $1,000.
Not quite, but I did spend more that day at the card shop than Steven did.
Gotta upgrade. Get those booster packs.
I
Oh, yeah,
bought
technically,
an
yeah.
entire box.
if
of
you
booster
use
packs.
that box to make if that box is like your pre-con plus your box combined, that means now you have the most expensive deck, and now that argument is null and void.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So now you're pay to win.
Well, technically, you'd have to look at the actual value of every card in the deck, add the value,
We're not doing all that.
and then we would see who has the actual most expensive deck. And the reason your
Might
deck
be me.
is $80-some is because it has high value cards in it.
Yeah, it might be me.
Is like three $13 dinosaurs. Like,
$13 dinosaurs.
I do have that one, the $40 card that I pulled, and I haven't put Urza's Saga in it yet, so there is technically like $80 of value I could have in it.
Yeah. So, I mean, all right. When we're talking about pre-constructed
Are you about to explain
Decks
card
of
games to
I'm
Magic.
me?
about to mansplain
no, just
Magic.
no,
It's
no,
gonna
no,
be
no,
awesome.
no. Just purely from a thematic standpoint. Don't you think he would be the one to like get the dinosaurs?
Knowing
What are
the
you saying?
personalities. Yeah, he's autistic.
That's the reason I got the dinosaurs, because I wanted to beat
You
him
wanted
with
to
the dinosaurs.
you wanted to appeal to the autism.
a little bit, and I wanted
It's-
to beat him
and
with
it
the
worked.
dinosaurs.
It does kind
And
of
it
work
worked.
because when he pulls out the cool dinosaur cards, I look at him and I go, "Oh, that's a cool dinosaur," and I get a little less angry.
Oh,
The real way to do it would be to play all of the Godzilla cards, and then
I figure
I would
don't
be
know
so
why
happy
you
to
didn't
lose
use
to you
one of
every
them
time.
as a commander.
because they're ass.
Can't be
The
that
only
bad.
legendary
Can't be that
one is
bad.
like Void Beckoner, and
It's
he's
more about the colors.
Void Beckoner is mono black.
Oh yeah, that's lame.
Yeah, they're all like
That's lame.
1 to 2 color cards.
My unpopular opinion, if in case any Magic the Gathering people are gonna watch this at all, is I think your EDH deck should be minimum 3 colors, or else you're lame.
Yes,
Minimum 3.
agreed. That's called a wedge, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's like the color pie. Magic's so cool. I like it a lot.
Brian
Thanks
doesn't
everyone
wanna
for
play with
watching
me.
the 3 Left Turns podcast. We have passed an hour.
Hell
We
yeah.
have passed an hour. This was pretty political focus.
was.
After
This
last
was.
week of
Liv will
no
be
politics at all.
I was really sleepy after work for that episode. and
Yeah, I'm
I
not
didn't
gonna
have
lie.
anything prepared.
My heart wasn't in it. I just wanted to yap with the boys.
Yeah, it wasn't my finest showing.
But
I'm angry about stuff this week, so
now that we have some weekly uploads,
yeah.
new episode every Friday
Woohoo!
until maybe.
Tell us how off topic we are. It'll hurt our feelings.
I didn't
No.
have feelings.
No, not
It
really.
vindicated me. I was
It
like,
did.
yeah,
It made
we do
me.
that
It made
shit.
me go, oh, I need to read things.
Yeah, we do that.
Steven's breaking the audio.
And I'm dyslexic, so that's
making
hard.
a terrible sound in everybody's heads.
Sorry,
All right.
headphones.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, guys.
See ya.